Hey guys, James here. I got a new computer. So, yeah, video recording might actually look better. It already looks much cleaner. But, yeah, Death Battle's back. I know what's playing right now is not the score from Harley Quinn vs. Jinx, but the score is not out yet as of recording this, so I went with a fan-made score by Merlin. Uh, go, go watch Merlin's stuff. She makes good fan scores. Anyways, Death Battle. It's back. Finally. Holy shit, it felt like forever. Like, the wait between Hulk vs. Broly and Yoda vs. King Mickey was not as big as the wait for Zatanna vs. Popeye and Harley Quinn vs. Jinx. But we are back to our regular Death Battle until the mid-season premiere, likely in June. I think June. Probably June. June or July. But I'm glad it's finally back. I wish I could say the MUs has been back or MUs I like. I don't mind Harley Quinn versus Jinx as a matchup. It's not a bad matchup, but it's not that great either. And then Scarlet Witch versus Zatanna, which is our new MU. I have nothing to say about it. I'm not familiar with these characters. I'm not as knowledgeable on Marvel and DC. I've only really started reading those comics a few years ago, and it's not been much. I've not read too many comics. And I've not read a single one with Scarlet Witch or Zatanna in it, at least that I can recall. So, yeah, I'm not going to really have most to say about this, but I can say a good amount of like what I hope to see in the animation. But for the matchup itself, I'm fine with it. It was inevitable. Like, even if Scarlet Witch wasn't teased, this matchup was inevitable regardless at some point in time. And hey, it makes sense to do it now because fucking the one Scarlet Witch show with Vision that was on Disney Plus, even though that was like a year ago, it's still kind of relevant. Marvel is just generally relevant. Something fell underneath the bed. And also the new Strange movie coming out. Like, Zatanna and Strange both have kind of similar powers. And hell, this is kind of just called Strange vs. Fate too. So, yeah. Like I said, I got no real opinion on it. The most I know of Zatanna is through the MCU. The movie specifically, but it's really just through Endgame and Infinity War. I've never seen Civil War. And I honestly cannot comment on her character at all. I barely remember her from the MCU. I've never seen the show with Vision because I don't have Disney Plus. So, yeah. And Zatanna, I know nothing about. Like, I only heard of her a yearish ago. Like, between the way of Sanji versus Rock Lee and Hulk versus Broly, when they said that Season 8 is going to be Legacy MUs. Because the only time I have ever heard of Zatanna when I think it was fucking Nemesis, I don't remember, for like predictions and like what could possibly be in the next season of Death Battle. Scarlet Witch versus Zatanna was one of the matchups that were brought up, and that was the only time I really heard of Zatanna. Like, that was the first ever time I heard of her. So, yeah, I'm not the most knowledgeable on these characters. I just know that they do magic. I think Scarlet Witch is even magic. I think it's like her mutant X-Men genes or some shit. I don't know. But connection standpoint, from what I could tell, just by doing a bit of scanning online on a few different pages, the connections seem to be that they are the most powerful magic users of Marvel and DC. Like, they could bend reality. Like, they're some of the most powerful sorcerers, and there might be more. That's really all I could find about this MU. So I think it's just the appeal of Marvel versus DC, and that it could look cool as shit as like their only matchups. Like, the only other ones I've heard for Scarlet Witch is Raven from Teen Titans, which, not Teen Titans, DC. I guess that is the same, whatever. which I don't think Raven really needs a return, and if she does, I'd rather her fight somebody else. And Zatanna, this is the only matchup I've ever heard for her. I guess also, like, another Scarlet Witch matchup I've heard is Phoenix, who's also from Marvel, but that was only for, like, the Death Battle cast, which not a lot of Death Battle cast episodes should become episodes. Like, the really obvious ones that should not be Death Battles. Like, fucking, Jason versus Freddy, Ash versus Yugi, Boba Fett versus Jango. Was it Jango? No, the Mandalorian. Like, those ones obviously should not be episodes. They're bad. Mario Kart versus Crash Bandicoot Crash Team Racing. That's an example should be a Death Battle. I can say a lot of the current Death Battle casts, the matchups should not be episodes. I think like only one was really good matchup wise. And that's the My Hero versus Demon Slayer one. I don't remember the name of the characters. Anyways, yeah, I think it's just like a rivalry matchup, a Marvel versus DC rivalry matchup, and I just simply cannot comment on anything about it, connections or matchup-wise. I can comment on what I would like to see from the animation and some of the debate, like who I think will win. Fuck, my throat is just fucked up today, I don't know why. But, like, debate-wise, from what I hear, it is surprisingly close. Like, if you put them both at their max, which I think is what most people are saying will be done or should be done, Scarlet Witch should just barely out-edge, or like barely win. I don't know. I've heard many people say that Scarlet Witch stomps, and I've seen much more arguments to say it's not a stomp, but Scarlet Witch should just barely win. Which I'm going to lean onto the side of she just barely wins. I don't know. You could probably make some solid arguments for Zatanna. She is a DC character. So, yeah, fucking... There's definitely some busted shit somewhere in Zatanna's history, probably, that could give her a win. Like, for God's sakes, they both fuck with reality. From what I could tell. And, fucking... I'm just gonna say, I'm rooting for Scarlet Witch just out of being ever so slightly more knowledgeable on her character. Maybe I might change my mind and root for Zatanna after going through the rundowns. Who knows? I've done that, like with Batman vs. Iron Man. I started rooting for Batman instead of Iron Man after going through the rundowns. Also, like, through the fight, just because, like, I was really wanting Batman to win, even though I know he's not going to win this one. God. But as of right now, I'm rooting for Scarlet Witch, and as well as betting on her. That may change depending on, like, what I hear, what we get through the rundowns on, like, where they're putting these characters. But, yeah... That's kind of all I could cover on debate without getting to the nitty-gritty, which I don't really know. But I could talk way more, and by that, probably not by that, I mean, probably not a lot, but about what I'm hoping to see from the fight. And for a short answer, I just want some cool as fuck animation. Like, this is kind of just Strange vs. Fate 2, but with more busted characters from what I hear. And I'm not the biggest fan of Strange vs. Fate. I think it's a fine episode, just not that great. And, like, a good part of it is, like, in terms of at least the animation, is that it's not really a magic battle. Like, there's some hints of magic, but it's mainly just a street brawl. So I'm hoping that Scarlet Witch vs. Zatanna can not do that. Like, it is purely a magic battle. They only use their magic, all their spells, their sorcery, like that type of shit. And it's just them throwing their magic at each other and maybe, like, have reality, like, break apart more and more as the fight goes on until it is just pure madness. They're like, fuck. Maybe, like, you can have them be flying through comic panels, blasting their magic abilities. just bending reality more and more until like I don't fucking know because this is like this is the second episode. They're not really the biggest like in terms of like their animation and how far they really go. Because like I think the biggest we've gotten is like Scrooge versus Shovel Knight, just because we got 16-bit animation was that one. But like go as far out as you can. Just destroy reality, and as the fight, like, it becomes more distorted as the fight goes on. They're using their magic, and it's just, like, tearing holes through, like, space and time. If they can do that, I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas with my minimum knowledge on these characters. And just go apeshit. Just use, like, as much magic as you can in, like, a 3 to 4 minute episode. I don't know, probably, like, 3 minutes and 45 seconds, I'm guessing. Like, destroy as much of space and time and reality as you can. It just becomes more and more distorted until, like, it gets to the very end where you could like, they're just fighting in, like, a white void that's being ripped apart. Like, it's cracking like glass until, like, the winner does, like, a big fucking magic attack, I don't know, that just, it's like a Thanos snap, just erases the other from pure existence and fixes reality. Like, as a, like, the destruction of reality kind of just, like, reverses itself from the magic. This probably sounds really fucking stupid and not anything they could do, but I'm just spitballing these ideas on, like, my bare minimum on the characters, bare minimum knowledge, and like or just an instant like reality is fixed. And this is one where I think you can do a kind of off-screen vaporization death, or like maybe the loser is just being just ripped apart by not by physics, but like reality is just tearing them apart while like it's being fixed back together like good as new. And it could be kind of brutal, but also if it's like off screen, you could just assume like they're just completely erased. And I think this is one where like a vaporization death would not be that bad, and hopefully people would not complain about it being a vaporization death. I don't know. But I think that could be really cool. Just go all out, and I've been repeating myself, but just break physics. Break it all. I don't know. I'm just hoping it doesn't turn into like a fist fight with like brute strength. Because these are not what even with my minimum knowledge, I can say that's not what those characters are about. It's magic. It's the witchcraft, the sorcery, I don't fucking know. So just have it be magic based. I honestly just want this to be a better Strange vs. Fate. Like, just do, like, take what Strange vs. Fate did good, and, like, keep that, and improve on what it did not do good. The only thing that I'm not, like I'm okay if it does not top for Strange vs. Fate is the track. A Strange Fate is a fucking banger. It's an underrated Season 5 track and probably one of the better instrumental ones from that season. It's really fucking good. Very underrated. And that is as much as I can say about this MU. I'm gonna keep my roots and bets the same. Rooting and betting Scarlet Witch. Those may change, but as the episode comes out, like, before the animation starts, I might change my root or my bet to Zatanna. Or maybe root for both. I don't fucking know. Fuck. Oh, excuse me. I'm just hoping this will be a fun, great episode. It has some cool animation. Go as all out as you can. Also, I forgot to say earlier, make it a Sprite episode. Where 3D at this point is just SFM. Like, we're not really, I don't really think we're going to be getting any more in-house 3D episodes anytime soon. So just make it Sprite. We just got an SFM Blender episode, so I honestly don't see us getting another one anytime soon. I think the earliest we'll get another one is episode 5, with most likely Boba Fett versus Predator. Going by past season trends of the Star Wars episodes, always in SFM now and in the first half of the season. So I'm thinking, yeah, that will most likely be the next one. It lines up the best for the next SFM slot or 3D slot. And then the next one, the mid-season finale. I don't know, I feel like that just fits best. And what I think episode 3 will be, I don't know. I got 2 main guesses. I'm just hoping that it's not a Marvel or DC episode, just because, like, the first episode was a DC episode. The second one is a Marvel versus DC. Let's switch it up, go to anime, like an anime matchup. I'm also kind of hoping it's not a confirmed matchup yet, or like a confirmed combatant. Just because I don't want them to blow through all of them so quickly in the first season. That's something I did not like in, like, the first half of the season. Because I did not like that with Season 8. They went through all of the teased combatants in the first half of Season 8. Like, Season 7, I think did a good job spreading them out. And while, yes, some of them maybe was supposed to air in the first half, like, at least Venom versus Corona. Or maybe some were supposed to air in the second half instead. Also, yeah, that had 20 episodes, but I still think you could space it out pretty evenly. Or at least save, like, 2 of the episodes for the second half of the season. What I would assume that would be saved for the second half would be... voice crack, fuck. Would be Thor versus Vegeta and... probably Magneto versus Tetsuo. Because the other 2 are Boba Fett versus Predator and John Sandro. And if it is a confirmed combatant, that's going to be the next episode. I hope it is John versus Tandro. I would love if we got that matchup. Because it would be fucking awesome. And that's like the only confirmed one I was hyped for, in all honesty. Like, really, really hyped for matchup-wise. And if it's not a confirmed combatant, I'm thinking maybe Sans versus the Judge. I think that's a good possibility of happening, like, early season. Maybe as the next episode. I don't know. But, yeah. I'm not really hyped for this matchup, but I'm just hyped that Death Battle's back. I'm hoping it'll be a cool episode. Better than Strange versus Fate. And, yeah, thank you for watching this. I somehow made 18 minutes out of it, probably just from just rambling and repeating myself. I have a bad habit of that. But, yeah, hopefully this will be a good episode, and I'm excited to see what we'll get next. Hopefully it'll be a good matchup, or a matchup I can care about, because, God, we have not gotten that just yet. But, anyways, yeah, hopefully streams will be back soon. I don't know. Because I've just been fucking tired as hell, but I got a new laptop that works well, so hopefully streams will be back here soon. But, yeah, peace.